While playing soccer on a secluded beach, a young boy stumbles upon a helmet with a GoPro attached to it. The footage reveals a man getting attacked by a great white shark. In the next scene, a man drives surfer Nancy to that same secluded beach. Since Nancy's friend was hungover AF, she heads out there on her own. Once Nancy arrives at the beach, she waxes up her surfboard and heads into the water. While out in the water, Nancy meets two other surfers, one of whom has a helmet with a GoPro attached to it. The two locals warn her about the coral that stings like a jellyfish. That sucks for her. That's just another thing she has to avoid in the water today. Anyways, on Nancy's lunch break, she FaceTimes her sister, letting her know that she's at the secret beach in Mexico where her mother used to surf. Later on, Nancy decides to go out and catch one more wave before she heads out for the evening. As she scans the horizon, she discovers a massive dead whale, so she tries to surf her way out as fast as she can. While surfing back, a massive white shark bites her leg and pulls her under, causing her to lose her surfboard. She quickly swims back to the whale and sits on top of it. Nancy tries to call out to the two local surfers for help, but it was too late. They already left. As the shark chomps away at the whale, the medical student swims frantically to a small rocky island. Losing blood at an alarming rate, she takes matters into her own hands and turns her earring into a makeshift needle and thread to stitch up her leg. I guess all those anatomy classes in medical school paid off. After sunset, she attempts to swim to her surfboard, but she sees the shark surrounding it, so she decides to abandon that idea altogether. And this is why you don't go to secluded places by yourself. Anyways, out in the distance, she sees a passed out man. She manages to wake him up by yelling repeatedly. She gets the man to walk over to her luggage, but instead of helping her, he steals her bag and phone, which just pisses me off. But he doesn't stop there, folks. The drunk man then sees Nancy's surfboard, so he jumps into the water to retrieve it. Ignoring Nancy's warnings about the shark, he quickly becomes shark bait. I guess karma is a bitch. The next morning, the two local surfers return to the beach. One of the men quickly gets attacked by the shark. The other surfer tries to swim over to Nancy, but the shark isn't satisfied with just one meal and drags him down to the depths of the ocean. I mean, this shark is really hungry. I don't get how he had 3 men in the past 10 hours. I doubt sharks attack that much. I'm pretty sure they don't really attack at all unless they're threatened or something. But this is just a movie. Anyways, the only companion she has left is a seagull who seems to have taken a permanent residence on the rock beside her. It's like a real-life version of Castaway, but instead of Tom Hanks befriending a volleyball, Nancy is stuck with a seagull who is probably just waiting for the right moment to peck her eyes out. Anyways, time is running out. She has just 25 minutes until high tide, meaning that the rock she's sitting on will be underwater. Using her medical expertise, Nancy fixes the seagull's wing. Thank God. If they kill the seagull in this movie, I swear I'm going to be so pissed off. After fixing up the seagull's wing, Nancy dives into the water to retrieve the GoPro. Nancy records a message to call for help and also says a heartfelt goodbye just in case she doesn't make it. So next, Nancy sends the seagull towards shore on a piece of the surfboard. She then carefully times the shark's movements as it circles from the whale carcass to the rock. She swims toward a nearby buoy where she narrowly evades the shark by swimming through a group of jellyfish. Before getting onto the buoy, she gets stung by one of the jellyfish, which would hurt like hell. Comment down below if you've ever gotten stung by a jellyfish. I heard it really freaking hurts. Anyways, once on the buoy, she discovers a flare gun. Having failed to capture the attention of a distant cargo ship with the flare, she proceeds to shoot another flare at the shark. However, the flare only succeeds in igniting the oil from the whale carcass, provoking the shark without any other impact. The shark goes full on jaws and attacks the buoy, ripping out the chains holding it down. Nancy, being the badass she is, decides to strap herself to the last remaining chain. As the chain is yanked from the buoy, she's dragged down to the ocean floor. Just when it seems like it's game over for Nancy, she pulls a Matrix move and avoids the shark's jaws of death. The shark, however, is not so lucky and ends up impaling itself on a rusty rebar sticking out of the buoy's anchor. Talk about instant karma. Later, a boy named Miguel from the opening of the film at the beach finds the GoPro and informs his father, who happens to be the driver from earlier. Carlos finds Nancy floating close to shore and revives her. As she looks around the beach, she sees that her pal Seagull has made it to the shore. I'm so glad Seagull survived. If he didn't make it in the movie, I was going to rate this a 1 out of 5 stars. Anyways, 1 year later, Nancy, now a doctor, and her sister Chloe go surfing in Texas, as their father tells Nancy that her mother would have been very proud of her. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss a recap. Also, let me know in the comments which movies you want me to tackle next.